Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a 6x12 scrapbook double page spread titled Versailles. I'll be scrapping a number of photos, and I'm working with the digital scrapbook kit, A Little Bit of Sparkle by Zoe Pearn from Sweet Shop Designs. I'm also using the Pretty Perennials stamps and dies bundle from Stampin Up. So I'm starting with the background paper there. So I designed this page in my Silhouette Studio software, where I then clip all the papers to the just the rectangles and things that basically the template that I create. Then I print everything from my Silhouette, and then I usually I cut things by hand when they're not complicated cuts like simple rectangles and squares and paper strips and all that. The circles I usually use my dies for, so even those I don't have my Silhouette cut. And so I start with putting the patterned paper on the background paper, and so this one is that floral paper there to constitute my background. And then I need to do the other side as well, and so I need to line it up actually and make sure that the papers are lined up well. And actually this one I wanted to make sure that this the pattern would be continued, and I thought the way I printed it from my Silhouette, I had ensured that, but as I put the page together I realized no, it wasn't, the pattern wasn't continuous, so I made sure there was some overlap to ensure that there would be the pattern would be seamless basically. And so there is a bit of overlap which I will be cutting away at the end, but for now it was still somehow had the right measurements and everything, so I don't quite understand what exactly I did wrong, that it didn't catch that side where I needed it to be cut off from this page on the right side there. But it wasn't a big deal. It's better to have more paper than less paper, and so that was the case here. So there was just a little overlap, and that can be cut away easily. Now I'm laying out everything to make sure that where I glue it actually is where I had planned it, with all the patterned papers and stuff, because I do want my patterned papers to show. I love working with patterned papers. That's what got me into scrapbooking in the first place. And so I want to make sure that all these patterned papers still get their place to shine on the layout, and so I have to make sure that I have the right spacing and everything. Here I'm still running my card along the edge of this paper strip. I realized I hadn't well, I guess I thought maybe it would be tucked under, but then I realized no, it's gonna just go against the underline of the photo row there, so I still wanted that part of the paper strip to be to pop up a little and give a little contrast as well on this page. That's why I roughen up the edges of every paper that I put on my layouts, because they just they become more noticeable on the page when I do that, because they cast shadows and all that. So here I think I have everything laid out, and it's important to have everything laid out because you see that there are things that I will have tucked underneath, and so the things that are tucked underneath, they need to be glued down first before I glue down the things that will go on top. And so that's always something that I have to keep in mind, and often I do glue down things first and then realize, oh no, I had meant to tuck something under. So there's a lot of that going for me, but in this case I actually remembered to start with the right element to put it down first. And here I am also putting down the photos now, and obviously I still want the pattern paper in the background is shown, so I'm also paying attention to that a little with how I space the photos there. Then I think I can, if I put down that strip, and now I have to line up again where that overlap is, but at least the pattern is continuous and seamless. And so I thought if I just glue down this paper strip, then my page will become one page, and that makes it more manageable, more easily manageable. So here I am gluing down the strip, and now I don't have to worry about keeping the two pages together for whatever purposes I need that when I glue down photos to see where the center line is and all that. So now I'm still adding all the embellishments, because again there will be embellishments that are, or parts that will be tucked under, and other parts that will be layered on top of other things, so I have to be mindful. But I guess there is nothing that goes underneath any photo anymore, and so I can glue down. Well, I realized, see there, that flower still needed to go, and so I made sure I didn't actually stick down the right side of the photo very, very well, so that I could still tuck the flower underneath there. And so again, I need to start with the background, which is these berries and just the foliage that comes with this. And so then comes the flower and the bloom. This is this Stampin' Up set that comes with stamps and dies. So I stamped them before I assembled this page. Then some of the word strips and the word art pieces, they come with a collection or with a digital scrapbooking kit. So I just printed those out as well. This is a label that came with this kit. And then I do have my own handwriting that was turned into a font, which I'm very happy about, because I do like to use my own handwriting on my pages, but having it as a font actually means it'll be neat. Like it really looks much neater than my actual handwriting does, but it still looks very, very much like my handwriting. And so it has the benefit of looking like it's my writing, but it's just neater, because the letters are consistent, whereas in my real handwriting the letters are not that consistent. So here comes that last little cluster there, and so that one goes next to this this label piece where I have my journaling, but because that also will be where the page will be cut apart, so I'm not actually making it touch or layer slightly on top of this label. There is that gap that I keep there intentionally, because I'm very much aware that that's exactly where the cut line will be, to cut apart the two pages again. And so I don't want that that flower, because it's a smaller flower, I don't want it to be cut apart. So it may look a little awkward for now, because it's kind of dead, what I call dead space. I don't like dead space. I like things to either be connected or just not be near each other at all. And so where there's dead space, I try to avoid that. So here's the title for this page, and it's a long title, and I decide, okay, I was hoping I could put it just on one side of the page, but I realized it is too long, and so it goes across the two pages, but it's only that one letter S. And so I start with that letter because it's right where that cut line is, so I can align it there, and then I can align all the other letters from then on backwards, basically. So this is our second day in basically Paris, right? Versailles is considered part of Paris, and so we spent one day in the city of Paris, and then pretty much half a day in Versailles before we went back from our weekend trip away in France. was a crazy trip. Just basically halfway through the night, drive from southern Germany to Paris, then spend all day in the city of Paris. Then after just a few hours of sleep in our hotel, then go back to the hotel after our day in Paris, and then spend the next day in Versailles, and then go back to southern Germany where we were part of a school program. So this is my page done. Now I have to cut it apart, and there will be that extra strip of paper that I can remove then, because it's that overlapping piece of paper here, making sure I'm not cutting into any photos or any embellishments that I did not intend to be cut apart. And so this is my page done. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.